Here with William, Bill Lee, Blitz from team fOu now.
Yeah.
Going to Korea, going to be playing in Nexon. Are you excited to steal all the Koreans' money?
I definitely am. There's like a lot of pressure though, right? Because everyone assumes that the scene is kind of bad. I'm in a weird position.
What do you mean assumes? We saw it in the exhibition match.
But like, it's not as bad as people think. Obviously, if you're going against like the top foreign teams in the world, like, I mean, I saw my team get crushed by DK and Alliance, and obviously things didn't look close. But you're also playing against like two of the best teams in the world, right? So it's not the most surprising thing in the world that happened.
They force you into doing those TPs and stuff.
Okay, so if you're playing against a harder opponent, like, you're gonna do common mistakes because you get nervous and stuff. But I'm kind of nervous because if I do well, people will say like, oh, the scene is bad. So even though that's not true, and if I do poorly, then they'll be like, oh, he was shit all along.
Well, I mean, they're gonna ban Storm against you.
No, they won't.
They won't?
No, I'm gonna make like a CM mid meta and like just screw with the Koreans' minds.
Okay. You said going into that exhibition match, did you feel the Koreans thought they had a chance, or were they just like, oh my god, we're gonna get crushed?
I think they thought things were gonna be closer than they were. But then I talked to Febby like right before the DK match, and we were having like a conversation, and he's like, "You're back gonna get crushed by DK." Talk to you. In,
but that's after they already lost the lines.
No,
and that's after the first 2 weeks of like the Koreans team getting. Owned.
I think the Koreans weren't aware of how big the gap was. I'm sure they were thinking like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna be like
it's gonna be hard."
Yeah, but I didn't think it was. They probably didn't think the gap was gonna be as large as it was, because it was like a giant chasm, you know.
I mean, the first match was it was Liquid against
Startail.
Yeah.
Wait, no. It was Underrated.
Underrated, yeah.
Yeah, Sunbeast team.
And that was like, we had like 4 Midases and the game was over in like 20 minutes or something.
I just saw you guys like diving nonstop, and then like, what was it? Fluff was the first death in Korea ever. We were laughing about him about that.
What was? Did you catch any of the reaction? Like, what was the reaction like? Because you can read. Can you read like the Korean boards and stuff? Or
no, but I hear it was kind of expected. Like, I mean, Korea's kind of new to the scene, obviously. We just started the Nexon thing. Dota just opened up in Korea. The one thing that was really hard was it's really difficult to play other servers and stuff, and it's hard for foreigners to play on the Korean servers as well. So you don't really get an influx of talent, right? You have to go and play on, like, the Southeast Asian servers, because if it's just a bunch of bad new players playing against each other, you know, it's very hard for something to, like, climb out of that pit.
like Bane.
That's exactly.
It's like they gotta climb out of the thing.
Yeah.
It's like they're all in this fucking prison, and then you have like Blitz, and they're all like chanting your name as you make the jump. Is that what's gonna happen?
That's what I was thinking.
And the top is like TI.
Yeah, when I was thinking that analogy. No.
I think a Korean team's gonna get to TI eventually.
Maybe. I know.
5.
Like, as it is right now, Korea might get at least one spot. You know, one of the qualifier. No, I mean one of the qualifier spots into like the Asian things.
Okay.
But I feel like that would be a little bit unfair for like for example, when there were a lot of good teams that were left out of the qualifiers in the East for the first place.
Why don't they just make the qualifiers longer and like more teams?
One thing I would like to see actually is if it was kind of like WCS, where like Valve had like a system in mind where it was like, this tournament is worth this much and this as much.
They could just have an open tournament for the last qualifier spot. Yeah. That would be really sick. Yeah. Could you imagine how many people would enter that?
Somebody had a suggestion that the last qualifier spot goes to the team that gets like the highest matchmaking rating. So people are like, oh, that would actually make team matchmaking like something to actually try hard at, right? Because right now nobody plays it.
Some pros just like smurf that shit though.
I mean, I guess, but at some point you have to like, you're gonna get exposed, right? Or at the very least, you see like a bunch of teams.
They'd have to have really good rules against that, because I could imagine some pros just like forming a team with like 4 random people that may or may not be invited to the qualifiers, and then just see if they can get the spot.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a thought. It looked kind of cool though, because it would promote like team matchmaking as well, and people to actually take it seriously. Because right now it's kind of a joke, right?
So okay, I want you to predict your first game KDA.
My first game KDA.
Okay. Yeah. Don't be conservative. Let's hear it. Who's it going to be against? You don't even know, right?
I don't know.
This would be Korean versus Korean, probably.
There's another caveat, too, that, like, as soon as I land off the plane, after, like, a 13-hour plane ride and being jet-lagged, I arrive at, like, 6 p.m., and then I play like the next day.
So?
I'm gonna be tired and like I don't know how.
Don't make excuses.
I'm just saying.
Give me your KDA.
What do I get if I'm close?
Well, we can make a bet, but I mean, like, I just want to hear what you.
I think I can get above 15 kills, less than 3 deaths, and like
Above 15.
above 15.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I'm a high kill player, man.
Yeah, but what if they ban the 3 heroes that you play?
What are my 3 heroes that I play?
Templar Assassin,
Goddamn.
Storm Spirit, and Quap.
Maybe
Don't put this in the interview. Don't do this.
Don't show this on the Korean portion of your site. They don't know that. Luckily, there's only 2 bans though in the opening rounds. So as long as my team doesn't ban one of my own heroes, we're okay.
During the interview, we're gonna put this in Korean subtitles. We're gonna put it in Korean subtitles
Just
at
that
the end.
part, right?
Yeah, just that part.
Well, I don't think Storm's worth the first ban. I haven't been
Against you?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't been playing that hero at all. Like, I don't like that hero anymore. It's
Okay. Yeah,
kinda
I
boring.
believe you.
You're really not helping my chances.
Also hate Ellie Goulding.
Yeah. Like Ellie Goulding sucks too, and in general, you know. Hey, I mean, you're gonna have to widen your mid pool.
I think it's larger than people realize. Those are just, I mean, when I play pubs on stream and stuff like that, those are the heroes I enjoy playing the most. And I don't mind playing them over and over again because they give me the, highest satisfaction. But I can play other heroes pretty well.
Can you play Chen?
Yeah, I can. Me and my friend Ja had this strat where I would go mid with Chen, and in the beginning, I would get a creep for him. So then I would share control, and then he would just let my creep last hit everything. And then I would farm the middle lane, so I was like farming the jungle and the mid lane. I had like a 4-minute Midas and like a 12-minute Manta. It was sick.
Got Manta and Chen.
Yeah.
New meta coming to Korea.
No, nothing else. That's the thing I want to do in Korea. Like, I just want to see like what heroes like can be used mid, because the metagame isn't set yet. Maybe I can bring back like Lion mid and stuff like that.
Fnatic used line mid and beat Alliance with it.
Yeah, it's sick. It's good. The damage on the ult is so high.
And he's actually remarkably good in lane with the mana suck.
If you stun and ult at like level 6, the damage is like, it's almost. If you get right click like once, you're dead.
Yeah, it's really good against the like Shadow Fiend or something. Yeah. But I don't know, Blitz. I don't know if you're gonna do well. We'll see. You got a lot of haters. You got a lot of haters.
I'll make you a bet. I bet you I play at least 10 different mid heroes by the end of the season. Wait, that's a little high.
No, I don't think you will.
7. I think I'll play 7.
We'll go with 10.
No, 7.
That was your first offer.
No,
We're gonna go 10.
But 10 is a little high.
Is fOu gonna win Nexon?
I mean, I know MVP, the second team with March, they're bringing in Solara from Quantic, who is a pretty good player, and I know he's gonna play mid.
Is he Korean too?
Yeah, he's Korean.
Do you feel that it's gonna be a lot of people coming in?
I don't think so. I think that it's going to be hard for anybody like not Korean to adjust to things like the schedule, the fact that you're living with a bunch of Koreans and stuff like that. I mean, I've talked to some of the StarCraft people that have gone, and I know that they were super committed and passionate, but after a while, it's difficult when you don't know anybody, you can't relate to anybody, nobody will talk to you because you're too white, stuff like that. I'm not super Korean either, but at least I have like family there, and worst comes to worst, I can always like talk to my aunt or something if things get bad.
Well, I mean, I hope it goes well for you.
Thank you.
Traveling over there, you're our ambassador.
I am.
Are you going to be involved in like the strategy and like picking and stuff, or are you just going to be like just headphones mid?
No, I think when I played on a team with Lust, Mikey, Infinity, and EGM. And I was playing mid for that team, and because all those guys are like the quietest people in the world, I had to like take control and like I was like
call the shots.
Yeah, and I think I'd like to do that again. I had a really good time doing that. We were actually a pretty good team. We were practice partners for like EG, AL, for TI2 and stuff like that. A lot of people don't know that, and we were pretty competitive until EGM went away for a week and everything went to hell, and we just like argued all the time. But before that, our team was cool.
Well. TI4 qualifiers, you're going to be fOu up in that, playing against DK and stuff? Well, DK's going to get invited, but
DK's gonna get invited.
you're going to be playing against, like, fOu.
I mean,
Rattlesnake.
to be realistic,
Speed, maybe even. Oh,
like,
shit.
if the qualifiers are in like 6 months, right? Wait, what?
Do you think Speed will be in the East qualifiers?
No, they'll be in the West.
Will they be invited, maybe? We'll
Yeah.
see.
It's 7, 8 months.
But
8 months. We could be seeing Bill Blitz Lee playing in TI4. That could happen.
dude, don't call me that. That's what my mom calls me.
Huh?
That's what my mom calls me.
What does she call Bill?
She can't. I don't think she can say the W, or she couldn't when she first. Which is weird that she named me. She named me like the hardest name for Koreans to say. Right? It's got a W, 2 L's, and then like
Couple vowels.
yeah. And she calls me P, which is kind of like Bill, but you know how we can't say the L's. So she says P. And
Does I remind you of your mom?
she's never called me William like in my entire life.
Okay. Is she sad you're leaving?
Yeah. I mean,
Are you gonna miss Purge?
well, why do you keep jumping from question to question?
Huh?
Yeah, I'll miss Kevin. He was like, I used to have lunch with him like 5 times a week. So it's going to be weird.
It's like you're breaking up.
Really? Is that what you're trying to steer this toward?
What are you talking about?
You know we have shirts. Oh, you should have interviewed us when we had our shirts on. We're going to wear our shirts tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I'll interview him when he has his
Yeah,
his
and then
Blitz
I'll,
shirt on.
I'll cameo really quick and I'll show you the matching set.
So typical, the white Asian relationship.
What do you mean?
Nothing. So, now that now that the Koreans have gotten a taste of their, teams getting owned, do you think they're more motivated, or do you think it might even discourage them a little bit?
I think one of the things about Koreans that make them so good at games in general is that they're really persistent. Like, I mean, I'm sure when they first entered League of Legends, because they were later, they were getting stomped left and right, by NAs and stuff like that, North Americans and Euros. But they didn't quit, obviously, and now they own the scene. I don't think that that'll necessarily happen in Dota because you're playing against people that have played, like, I mean, people like Alliance, they've been playing competitively, not just playing, but they've been playing competitively for like 7 years, like Ake and Loda and stuff like that. And like all the Na'Vi guys, obviously, they have the experience. And stuff like that is really hard to close the gap in.
But also, like, I really feel like when you play, I don't know how it is in League, but Dota's really like, it feels like it's very closed off in scrims in the upper level. Like, if you don't practice against Alliance, you're not gonna beat Alliance. Like, you have to practice against that level, and it's just so hard when everyone's kind of bad.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron, right? Because you want to play against people that are going to make you better. But I know that the Korean scene plays a lot of Southeast Asian teams and stuff like that. Maybe not like, the top ones, but I know teams like, I know Febby was telling me they play against like teams like Titan or something.
Minsky?
Yeah. But I think if you're playing against teams like that and you can actually like slowly overcome them, then you can get to the next level, but it's like taking it step by step.
They gotta go like lower tier Chinese and then maybe some upper tier European teams.
Exactly. It's hard though for us to practice against Europeans because the ping difference is ridiculous. Even playing against like American teams would be nearly impossible.
I think that's one of the most interesting things about Dota right now is because the Chinese scene is so insular. Yeah. So we had no idea if they were better or worse than Na'Vi and Alliance until they went over there and played them,
Yeah, it's one of the things that I think makes the European and the North American scene succeed so well is that they're willing to play against anybody, and you incorporate all those styles, right? And they watch all the games. I don't know if the Chinese players watched a lot of replays and stuff, but I remember from TI2, they took a lot of strategies. I think it was either Bulba or AUI. They said the Chinese players at TI2 learned more about us by playing us than we did about them, because their style was so closed off, and they were doing, they were just trying to do what each other were doing but slightly better. But once they saw Tiny, with the phase boots and the Aghanims and stuff like that, the ones that TC did right when he was on Complexity, they incorporated that and they made it slightly better. So I think it kind of works against them at the same time.
Yeah, but they're not on top anymore. Who would have thought?
I mean, that's what happens, right, when you stagnate.
Everyone was wrong about TI3 and about IG.
I mean, they had some issues, though. Most people knew that they were going to have, roster
people thought that it was just going to be a Chinese, role
Did
until...
they?
Well, up until Alliance and Team Liquid went to China to play them, and Alliance won that tournament, people were like, this is not even going to be close. And then when Alliance beat DK in the first match with the Roche strategy, people were like, like, you know, they got lucky or whatever. And now you see that it was a pretty good indicator of how things went.
Yeah, I think what made Alliance so good is that they innovate constantly. Like they throw you off with like such a variety of strategies and openings and stuff like that. Like, who would have thought of manipulating like Roshan to like try to get that psychological edge? Because you're like, oh, are they actually doing it? Are they not? Are they just trying to wrap around on us? Like they're playing from as soon as like their heroes get picked, right? And I think China wasn't quite prepared for that. I think the mechanical skill, obviously, between Chinese players or Southeast Asian players and Europeans are pretty close. But I think where the European and the North American scene succeed is that they innovate a lot more. Like
I think the European teams are like Na'Vi and Alliance are just better at situations that are not pre-planned.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you're playing against a Chinese team and they play against each other, they're like, oh, this is our timing, and that's what I talked with Fluff about. He's like, oh, they've developed these timings and all that, but when you see teams like Na'Vi especially, or like Fnatic, where they just everything goes to shit, but they're still like calm and collected and they're doing everything they need to, like that's beautiful Dota to watch.
Yeah, like that Na'Vi Alliance game recently where they picked no carry.
You know why they did that, right? It's because they both qualified, so it didn't matter at all.
I know, but it was fun to watch because it was just like those kind of games Na'Vi does really well in.
It's hectic and it looks like they're coming from behind and then they somehow take like a miraculous lead. That's the thing about Na'Vi. When you watch them, you're like, these guys are never out of a game. It's like stupid to watch. You're like, how are they doing this? It seems like they just make every other team.
You gonna make fOu like that?
No. I have low expectations for myself.
Yeah, but you just gotta pub a lot with them because you know that mentality comes from like Russian pubs, right?
Oh, really?
Because I feel like anytime I play, like it's just like when we play with the Russian staff member on TL, he always does wonky shit that makes the game degenerate into this like people like just roaming around ganking each other for like 10 minutes.
You know what it is in Dota? It's like once somebody does something like that to you, you're like, I'm gonna get them back.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a spite war. Like once somebody 3-man ganks your mid, then you have to do it back to them, right? And then everybody's just stuck like fighting nonstop and not farming.
That's great.
It's not good. That's
fun Dota to watch.
I guess.
So give me your pick for this tournament.
I'm an Alliance fanboy because I was on a team with EGM.
Did you pick EGM or Purge?
They have different qualities. If I had
You're not gonna answer?
If I had to date one, like if
you were a girl.
If I had to marry somebody long term, I would pick Purge because he's really stable and like you always know what you get out of him.
EGM's a support.
Yeah, but he's also kind of selfish and he's kind of weird and he'd be more spontaneous and fun even though he's like the least talkative guy because that's where they kind of mesh. They both
Fuck you, EGM.
That's not what I said at all.
That's what you mean.
I think Alliance gets first, Na'Vi gets second, Team Liquid gets third.
Oh, Team Liquid. Well, I disagree. I think we're gonna take all 3 spots. So
Ike's Mike is here. He's gonna form a new team.
Okay. Well, give your shout outs and then we'll wrap this up.
Shout out to my team first and foremost. Thank you for having me. I know it's a big risk, obviously. Because
what does fOu stand for?
It's because I've never played with any of your members. I know what it stands for, but it's
for our union. Just amazing name.
It's not.
Can you say it?
It's
Utopia.
That's for our utopia.
For our utopia.
Nice.
I mean, I know what it's just an embarrassing.
For your utopia. What's embarrassing about that?
Only the O is capitalized.
It's only as embarrassing as you want it to be.
Merlini made fun of me on the airport, like car ride, when I told him what it meant for like an hour and a half, literally. Like on the way back, he's like, "Whose utopia are we for?" So shout out to my team. I think their sponsors are Razer right now. Shout out to the Korean fans that are going to get to see me play. Hopefully support me. Thanks to everybody that posts really nice comments that defend me. Hopefully I can reward your faith because I know it's got to be tough saying like, go Blitz, he's going to do well. And everyone's like, no, he's not. So thank you for holding strong.
I think you're going to do well. Come on. You're going to stomp some newbies over there.
I don't know. I'm pragmatic. Shout out to Corinne, my girlfriend. Shout out to EGM for being a great friend. Shout out to Purge, obviously, for being like the best friend a guy could have while I was in California. Shout out to BTS. I've learned recently how shady people can be in esports, and I want to make a special shout out to people like BTS because obviously I'm good friends with LD and Gods, and whenever you work with friends and they owe you money or something like that, it's awkward until they pay you, right? And BTS literally pays me like the next day or like the next few hours after I'm done working.
I mean, that's how it should be done, you know?
But it's not, and it's not a standard, and I want to highlight the fact that that should be a standard. And so people like that do stuff like that should be commended. So thank you to the three Davids for being very kind to me while I was here. And thank you to all my fans in America, Europe, wherever you are, Manila, I don't know.
Follow him, Blitz Dota, right?
It's Blitz_Dota.
Blitz_Dota. Am I following the wrong guy?
Dude, Ake is. He was following like, he's following like Blitz Dota. It's some Russian guy that won't give it back to me.
Okay, well, Blitz_Dota. And, you know, check out our other interviews. We're going to be doing some over the weekend. And, yeah, thank you, Blitz.
Thank you.
I will miss you. I will miss you.
No problem, buddy. I'll miss you too.